with us today because we're going to visit our friend Rado, and I'll link his channel below. He is a fellow Tesla enthusiast and he recently got a Model S. So he's going to show us around and show us his car and how he powers it for free using solar energy. So I hope you enjoy it and I'll chat to you later.
Hi, my name is Rado and I was born in Slovakia in Europe. I've been living in this beautiful country for 15 years and I am a big fan of sustainable living, healthy living and solar and electricity, because I believe that we use a lot of electric appliances here and that is moving quickly into automotive industry, into transport. So we've been living here for 5 years in Brisbane and where else but Queensland. It's amazing to see what solar generation can do to us, to our children, to grandchildren, in terms of saving and in terms of long-term green living. Now we've been enjoying solar system here, large solar hybrid system for 5 years. As I mentioned, we are off the grid, so using the batteries to power the house, and when the batteries are full by about 10 or 11 a.m. we transfer that energy and charge the car with the excess energy that would normally be wasted, and then in the evening again at around 4:30 the car is turned off and the batteries are recharged more for the night until morning again. It's something that I think everyone should consider, whether it's a small system or big system. The prices have dropped tremendously and it's very affordable even now. From what I understand, simple even 6 kilowatt system now costs about 4,000 to 5,000. Whereas not long ago it was double or triple of that amount. So let's have a look at the car and the setup, how we charge it here.
Okay, Rado, so how did you manage to get this Tesla?
I've been researching this car for about a year on YouTube, on blogs, on Facebook pages, and everyone has been raving about it. Yes, there is some minor things, but comparing to such a young company as is Tesla, it's nothing, because there are cars with a long history of production and they still have so many faults. So this is absolutely amazing car. I have been riding and driving so far. I've driven about close to 100 cars, mostly rented ones, because Hannah and I, my wife and I, we travel a bit, so we fly, we rent a car and usually rented cars. And I can honestly say this is the best car I have sat in and drove. Probably will be best one for a long time, until other car makers do something about it and offer us a real product, not just a concept. I think there is a problem with people in general, that they are addicted to noise and they just love the roar of some sort of engine, but there's so much noise pollution, and I think if everybody sat in this for a few hours, they would realize that it's so much more peaceful to drive electric car, so much more calming, and would be more, it would actually make people happier just by sitting in a silent car. And also, to me, I realized, I was thinking about it the other day, those noisy cars, they kind of provoke and share, they sound angry. It's kind of not natural to be sitting in a car like that for me anymore. And not that I didn't like the internal combustion engines car, one of them is still here. This is so we basically moved here from 17-year-old Toyota Camry to electric car. We've had this one for 9 years. There have been problems, countless problems. So that was one of the reasons not to invest in this anymore, because it doesn't make sense spending money on petrol, whereas this is not costing us anything. Being able to supercharge at the fast chargers, public chargers that are free. And for those interested in finding out more, there'll be a link below this video to use a referral link to receive free supercharging if somebody is ready to invest in a car like this. And also charging at home is free for us because we have a large solar system where I explained already it's charging during hot days or whenever. So totally silent and very, very powerful. It's maybe equivalent of 350 to 400 horsepower, so that's plenty, and it's a big heavy car. So I'll just show actually a few things. For those who haven't seen an electric car, let's do a quick walk around. I'll start here with the cargo space because this is a model 2015, and for those who are not happy with the lighting of the boot, because there is one light here which is not enough, it's only LED. So what I've done, I've bought some of these simple battery operated lights from China. They come with sensors. They have 3 AAA batteries there, and actually I can open it up and you can have a quick look. They cost about $4.50 or $4 from China, including shipping, and they are great help to illuminate the whole cargo space. I have 2 there, so it's nice and bright at night. And as soon as you are going to put something in the boot, they come on and they come off automatically. So that's something for DIY people. And also this bookshelf lifter, they call it. They sell this in a steel version from America, a company called Evonex. But what I found out here, if you come here closer, there was that steel shelf lifter, but it got jammed here and it damaged the seal, rubber seal here. So I thought always this lifter is a fabric. So I just got to what is it called, Home Zone or something like that, bought this string for $2.50 a meter and made a simple lifter with a nail in the shelf and a hook there, quick and easy to lift the bookshelf.
That's a great idea.
So there is a lot of cargo space on the sides as well. There is a footwell here. It's quite deep where the feet are of the rear facing seats in America, not in Australia. It's not allowed here. And I'll do a quick look into the front. So for those who still love the petrol engines, there is none here. This is a rear wheel drive only, so it has a bigger front space of frunk, as they call it, and there is quite a reasonable area. Normally 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive Teslas that are made now exclusively, they have this cargo space quite smaller, so it ends somewhere there. Still plenty of room for extra storage for road trips and maybe even picking up a family from the airport. What I noticed also on all-wheel drive version, this is not there anymore. So all-wheel drive versions, they have just a straight aluminium bonnet.
All right.
And this is not there. This is pretty good because it sort of insulates the front more. So the things in the front don't overheat as much as if it was just a straight bonnet without that line in here. So I kind of like that. So I'll just close it because it's all aluminium, both sides. And yes, so anyone interested in finding out more about these supercars, literally they are supercars, you will realize once you sit in one. And you're welcome to check Tesla.com for test drives. The staff is very friendly there. They are not trying to sell cars, they are introducing the brand. So it's very different experience to your maybe recent visit to any other car dealership when the first thing they want to do is you to buy the car on the same day. Tesla, not at all. I was really impressed how they deal with the potential customers because there is no pressure at all whatsoever. So go and book a test drive. It's almost Christmas. It's a great present for someone you love or family. Take your husband, wife, mother, father, have fun, and they will spend 1 hour with you, 20 minutes, including 20 minutes of driving, experience in autopilot, and all other features there.
So let's talk about your solar. So what did you start off with and how much do you have now?
We started in 2012 when we moved here. There was a small 1.1 kilowatt system here on the roof, and that's 6 panels, and then we added another 4 kilowatt system, and then to that existing system we kept adding panels because there can be added more and more panels to, if it's a good inverter, it can handle much more than we are told by solar installers and experts in this area. Simply say, I'll say this, electricity or energy companies, they don't want us to generate a lot of power because they don't want to pay, because there is still a feed-in tariff in place. So this system, it's a undisclosed number of solar panels, I will say that way. There's 25 panels that feed in strictly solar, the batteries, the deep cycle batteries that power the house, plus the car, and it is amazing how it works, especially on days like today. And even during overcast days where still there is a strong UV penetration to the panels.
So how many inverters do you have here?
There is a 1 kilowatt and 4 kilowatt inverter that's for on-grid, and there is a 5 kilowatt inverter for off-grid for the house.
And at the moment you're fully off-grid, you don't pay for electricity?
No. Exact opposite, we get, every quarter we get the credit for the electricity we sell to the grid.
And how do you manage that with charging your Tesla?
Yes, let's say if it's like this morning at about 10:30 in the morning, the batteries for the house are full because the sun comes out so early, and then I start charging the car. Now it's full, so it doesn't need it, and then usually I charge the car by about 4:30 p.m. and then I turn off the car, and batteries get recharged again for the house for the night, and in the morning same thing as required. So this is pretty much the whole setup. We are off-grid and on the grid for the purpose of feeding electricity to the grid, to other people's homes or whatever, for whatever use. There is 4 batteries, 280 amp hour.
Wow.
It's converting DC to AC. There's 25 solar panels charging these batteries, and not as fancy as a Tesla Powerwall or something like that, but this works perfectly. We've been on the batteries for 4 years, and these are from, and I'll give them a credit, these batteries are from Aussie Batteries and Solar from Maroochydore.
Okay.
Lead acid batteries, affordable for anyone who wants to do it. This setup is from Taiwan. There's a solar charge controller and inverter, so it's from 48 volt DC to 230 AC, and it works day and night, especially in this weather. In winter we've had a few days when it's either cold, cloudy, overcast, when it would last maybe 24 hours, but the next day I turn it off to recharge the batteries.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And of course extra fan for cooling. There's always extra airflow is welcome.
So where's the fan?
Just this one here is a simple pedestal fan that just keeps the airflow. On the bottom it's quite open, so it's got like a chimney effect, so heat rises. And not long ago I added these panels here to shade it off even further, so it's not overheating as much. So this is our little power station. So with those, I think in this country it's almost criminal not to have at least one solar panel on the roof for whatever purpose that is, even charging the phone or laptop or something, because as today it just makes sense. And after being involved in solar for 5 years now, the next logical step was to invest into a fully electric car, which is a very exciting car. And people kept saying, oh, there'll be more affordable versions from China. Who would want to wait for some experiment from China? I know there is great products, and even maybe this camera was made there, but still it's good to go for really great support of charging stations and technology and autonomous driving, hopefully soon. But autopilot on those cars, it's a feature that those who haven't tried won't understand, I guess.
I think that's the biggest thing with Tesla too, with their infrastructure. They've thought not just about the car, but about the charging as well, and they're rolling that out while they're rolling out their cars around the world.
Oh yeah. So this here at the back of the house is an on-grid system. Original inverter that was here, 1 kilowatt, a Sunbeam, German technology. They are very good. They can handle more than people rate them at. And this is also Sunny Boy 4 kilowatt system, so it's 5 kilowatt altogether. And I had to, well, I did add extra fan here because there is more panels fed to this inverter than original setup, and just to cool it down a bit more efficiently, it has an extra fan. And let's say today we've generated on this one 16.5 kilowatts, and on this one so far, what is it coming on, because it switches between screens, and this one is here 4 kilowatts. So on a good days, now it's 12 o'clock, I think the record we've done here is 60 kilowatt hours per day, and today will be probably pretty close to that as well. So you do your math. If you know, so it makes sense to have solar, of course. And whether you live in a house for a year or 5, if you live in a house for 5 years, that's the time that you probably get your return on investment with the current feed-in tariff. So if you are staying in the house for the following 5 years, invest in solar, because you will be surprised, or you will be regretting not to, with what's happening in Queensland especially. And so electricity between the batteries and the grid is switched with the electromagnetic gateway or a simple switch. When the batteries are low, it just switches to on-grid, and you don't even realize it. There's just a small sound that comes out of the meter that just flicks it to the on-grid. And then again, when the voltage is high enough, it flicks back to off-grid.
Awesome. So if someone wanted to follow you, how would they do that?
If you, feel free to type into YouTube Rado Trencianski, or you can type in Rado Brisbane, and you will find me there. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and I'm looking forward to your comments and connections online and offline. And thank you Caleb and Sarah for this time we had here today to discuss things, and for the video.
Thanks for having us. We loved it.
It's been a pleasure.